And our first game is Champion Baptist, who won an exciting This game, we said, features the Champion Baptist men from Hot Springs, Arkansas, and shot up and in by Linville. Great pass by 22 Cody Connor. And Linville gets it to go, and he'll have a foul shot as well. And he'll check who that foul was called on for Arlington. It's like they're giving it to Zamoris Cannon, his first team foul. One apiece so far. We're just getting started. Linville's free throw rims out. Pass ahead, and they're going to give the ball to Champion. The ball went off Jamie Bricino, who has checked in, not a starter. And really, he got bumped pretty hard, and it was the reason he lost the ball out of bounds. And the referee, it did go off of him, but the referee, I guess, since he didn't call a foul, decided to just say the ball belongs to Champion. They miss a shot on the other end. Arlington back the other way. The kick out to Bricino. His three misses everything. Falls right into the hands of Hayes Linville, the big 6'7" freshman for Champion. They're daring him to shoot from outside. He didn't, but he got the ball slapped away and stolen. Pass ahead is tipped and stolen. Capacey with it. Doesn't want to dribble into trouble, so throws it to Linville, who now dribbles all the way to the basket, lays it up and in. Hayes Linville just taking it on himself to drive all the way to the basket and lay it in. A runner on the other end is good by Johnny Shrake, who has checked into the game. Several subs in there. Michael Howell, number 12, is in there. Number 42, Hugo Rodriguez is in there. Looks like almost a complete new team in there for Arlington Baptist. None of their starters in there that I can tell. Three-pointer missing there, Johnny Shrake, and see that Arlington doesn't waste any time shooting when they get down on their end, which is great when you're hitting, and it's probably why they score so many points. Yesterday we saw the contest between Faith Baptist and Rhema, and when those two met up, Arlington Baptist and Rhema, that is, 122 to 115 the final, Arlington winning that one. A major shootout. They aren't evidently very shy about shooting. Linville gets inside and is called for traveling. And that's why when you're hitting, you're going to score 122 if you just come down, stop, and pop right away. And that's what they're doing so far, and they're hitting some. Quentin Moore is in there as well. Number 13 had the ball a minute ago. This is Shrake. Moore gets it inside, and that's Rodriguez who shoots and misses. Hugo, fairly close-in shot, but it was contested, and he was maybe fearing a block, and so he maybe flinched a little bit. Linville drives, shoots and misses. Rebound, Arlington Baptist. Three on the way and good by Michael Howe. Third three-point basket of the afternoon. 15-8, timeout called. Hayes Linville is upset about something. And the coach, who is Eric Capacey, trying to calm him down before they get into the timeout. And really the assistant coach taking over, doing some talking now, is Coach Capacey, who we mentioned yesterday, is also a pastor of a church. He's the president of the college and the men's basketball coach, and so he's probably an experienced counselor, so he's using some of that counseling experience to calm down his big guy, big Hayes Linville, the 6'7" freshman. I don't know what the deal was. I'm not sure why he was excited, but he was. We'll take a brief break. Well, too late for that. There's the buzzer. Timeout is over. And we'll take this opportunity to mention to you while the teams come back out that if you would like a digital copy of any of the games or all of the games that are going on this weekend, then digital downloads are available. It's $5 a game. And Chris, the announcer in the other gym, he's the guy who's heading all this up, and if you happen to be down for the tournament, you can just stop by and talk to him, pay him directly. And otherwise, you can find his email. It's usually up on the screen at points during the game, and you can email him and say you want a copy of the game. Back to action we are. Connor, 15-footer, doesn't go. Rebound underneath, and then dribbling out of trouble is Gardner. Gardner was a factor with his hustle in the comeback for the Tigers of Champion Baptist yesterday. Johnson gets inside. There's Gardner shooting and missing. Rebound pulled out of there by Rodriguez. Check on Rodriguez's height. He looks pretty tall. Three-pointer missing. Rodriguez inside. I wonder if he's going to be called for going over the back, and the answer is yes, I believe. Foul is on Hugo Rodriguez. He's 6'7", out of Dallas, Texas. Of course, Arlington and Dallas right together. A Metroplex. Actually, they called the foul on someone else. They called the foul on Will Oliver of Champion. Three-pointer on the way. No good. And the ball will belong to Champion Baptist. Number 23, Josh Green, thought that the ball got knocked out of his hands. The referee says no. His vote is the only one that counts. Nobody else gets to vote. All you can do is voice your opinion. Connor with the ball, turns down a three, and as he stepped back to start his down under their own basket. So that turnover gives the ball back to Arlington. They lead by 7, 15-8 is the score. And losing the ball out of bounds is Claiborne. Champion gets it back. Capacey called for travel as he gets the ball on the inbounds pass, and he's standing there with a puzzled look on his face. Coach Eric Capacey asking what's going on. The referee does a little shuffling movement with his feet. Three-pointer missed. Arlington has it back, takes another three-pointer. This one bounces in. Little shooter's bounce there for Rafael Garcia that bounced high and fell back through the rim. 18-8, a 10-point Arlington lead. Capacey for three. It's good, Joe Capacey. First three-point basket for him. I don't think he had one in yesterday's game. I'll check back. Yeah, he did have one. And as I was looking for that, somebody scored for Arlington Baptist. Sorry I missed that one. Capacey to Gardner. Gardner drives, tries to pass it underneath. Almost goes out of bounds. Saved inbounds by Arlington. Now it's caroming around on the floor, and finally Oliver comes up with it. Shabazz is in there now, number 32. Connor has it. Dribbles through a couple of defenders, and a foul called. Arlington will get it on the side. That's Shabazz with it. Gardner. Now Connor. Another three on the way, and it's good as well by Capacey. Shoots that ball up there with some side spin, probably not your classic shooter's form. It's not what you normally want the ball to do, and it leaves your hand. You want it to have some backspin. And a foul called underneath as Oliver was trying to control that, and that, I think, it's on number 22. That's Philip Nowakama. Oh, a hard name to pronounce. Nowakama, I think that's how it's pronounced. He was called for pushing off underneath. It's 20-14. Here goes Connor driving to the basket. His driving shot won't go. Linville can't get it to go, and the rebound. Arlington, they have put 5 new guys back in, so it looks like they're doing what is commonly called a line change, where they run 5 in and run 5 out. Hugo Rodriguez lays that one in after a nice pass. Shabazz, long pass down to Oliver. He stops, pops, misses. Nobody but white jerseys under there. Those belong to Arlington. Moore with a long 3, no good. Arlington rebounds, another 3, no good. Rebound, Linville. That last shot was taken by Michael Howell, who hit a 3 earlier. Couldn't get that one to go. An 8-point Arlington lead. Oliver drives, shoots, and it won't roll in. Rebound, Johnny Shrake. He's still got it. All the way to the basket. Left-handed layup missing. Rebound, Connor for Champion. Long pass down the floor. Intended for Shabazz is incomplete. Would have been a touchdown had he caught it. Okay, wait a minute. Wrong sport. Could have had a layup if he would have caught it. Well over his head. Ball stolen away by Connor. Here he comes down the floor, all the way to the basket, shoots and hits and is fouled. Is Cody Connor, his first basket, and he'll have a chance to make it a 3-point play. Foul on Michael Howell for Arlington, his second. Team foul number 6 on them. They have a 6-point lead, and we said you kind of live and die by the 3. They are just pumping up 3s like crazy. If they were hitting half of those, they'd have a big lead. As it is, their misses have enabled Champion with some 3-pointers of their own, and that 3-point play there enabled them to make a comeback, and now Linville blocks the shot of, gotta catch his number 21, that's Claiborne. And Claiborne fell to the floor, and as he did, that blocked shot hit him on the leg and went out of bounds. So Champion gets it back. So Linville making his force known inside. Drives to the basket here, and a blocking foul will be called. And that is on Willie Claiborne. And Linville go to the line. Borderline call there. Toughest call in basketball, in my opinion, is the charging foul. And sometimes when you're looking at it live, you disagree with the ref, and then you see the replay and you go, oh, okay. Not always, but often. And it looked like Claiborne wasn't quite set, maybe moving a little bit there as Linville came down the lane. Hayes Linville makes both free throws, and now it is a 3-point game, 22-19. Step back 3, no good. Rebound Linville as he goes over the top of Philip Nwakama. Gets that rebound, so the height is a good thing for Linville. Ball thrown away, driving, shooting and hitting is Caleb Brown, and he is fouled. So Brown gets it to go, and we'll have a free throw as well. And we'll double check that foul. It's on Willie Whitelaw. Willie checked into the game without asking me. Didn't know he was in there. Free throw good by Caleb Brown. That 3-point play, it's the lead back to 6. Whitelaw in some trouble, gets a pass away to Connor. Connor drives, is cut off. His defender falls to the ground. Misses the shot. Linville misses the tip. And Arlington back the other way. The drive and the kick. Not shooting the 3 was Garcia. And a fight for position inside as Whitelaw. And looked like Nwakama getting a little tangled up inside And they called the foul on Whitelaw, who ended up on the floor. So they're fighting for position. Whitelaw now checks out, and Capacey is back in there. And officials evidently misread the board. They saw 7 team fouls, but the 7 team fouls are on Arlington, not on Champion, so no free throws here. Arlington will get the ball into their own basket. Cutting to the basket, shooting and missing is Nwakama, but Arlington gets it back. That's Josh Green into the lane. Scoop shot, no good. Linville with the rebound, and they're slapping at him. The entire Champion Baptist bench on their feet, hollering like that's not a foul. Linville was standing there with the ball, and 2 guys, 1 guy especially, and I think that's who got the foul called on him, Josh Green, slapping somewhat violently, sure aiming for the ball, but missing. And after an uproar from the bench, the whistle blew. Linville hits the free throw. 9 for Linville here in the first half. 7:59 remaining in the first half. It's a 25-20 score. 25-21 now as Hayes Linville hits both free throws. That was a 1-on-1 opportunity for him. 8 team fouls on Arlington. Drive, dish, and then a fumble by Claiborne. Driving was Caleb Brown. Did a good job of drawing the defense. And then he threw the ball down to Claiborne, who would have had a layup had he handled it cleanly. Instead, it bounces off his knee out of bounds, and Champion has it back, trailing by 4. Linville in a little trouble at center court. Gets it across. Connor shoots and misses, but there to follow it up and miss it, though, was number 2. That is, I always forget his name, Gardner. And then Linville got the rebound. And what did they call? Must have been traveling. Looking down for Gardner's number. I think they called traveling not a foul. And maybe it is a foul. Linville's number is up on the board. I think it was a foul on him. 3-pointer on the way and good. That was number 12, Michael Howell, his second 3. And even though they've been missing quite a few, not bashful about shooting is Arlington Baptist. And when they're on, they score a lot of points, and they could go on a flurry here and suddenly maybe be up by 15 or 20 in a hurry if they would hit those. But they've been a bit inconsistent. They've hit some threes. 28-21, a 7-point lead. That pass inside is poked away from Gardner. 3-pointer wide open from the side goes in for Patrick Howard, his first 3. 6 3-point baskets as a team. 31-21, the lead is 10. Not long ago it was 3 or 4, and you see how quickly things can change when you hit those threes. Ball almost thrown out of bounds, but Champion keeps possession. Connor drives, shoots and misses. Pass ahead and almost goes out of bounds. Saved in bounds, layup up and in by Hugo Rodriguez. 33-21, and Connor has it stolen away. Pass over the head of number 11, Brandon Bonner. Goes out of bounds. Turnover gives it back to Champion. They trail by 12, 6:02 to go in the first half. This is the first of 2 semifinal men's games that we're having in this gym. A couple of others going on over at Ozark Christian. Johnson back in there. His pass bounces off Gardner. Caroms into the hands of Arlington Baptist. Shot missing. Follow missing. Second follow goes in, and that one was tipped in by Bonner. Bonner with his first basket, and it's a 14-point lead. Linville steps around the defender, shoots, misses, but is fouled. He'll go to the line for 2 more. Linville's free throw goes in. First one, that is. He has another one. It is good as well. Linville is 6 out of 6 from the line. He has 12 points here in the first half. Arlington Baptist drives. That is Quentin Moore who drives and hits. The lead back to 14. Capacey gets it to Johnson across the timeline as Arlington continues to use their press. Linville fakes and drives. His little scoop shot goes in. Three-pointer on the way, rimming off. That was Bonner. Linville with the rebound. Linville has it back. He's driving and hitting. Backing away, so he didn't get a foul, was Hugo Rodriguez. And Linville scores another one, making it a 10-point game. Timeout called, 4:49 to go in the first half. We will take a break as well. This is the ACCA basketball tournament. Drive, shot, good. That's number 32, Cannon. Cannon, his first basket. He's one of the starters, but looks like 10 guys play about equal minutes for this team. And traveling is called on Hayes Linville. He knocked a guy over, no charge called, no foul called either way, and instead a travel on Linville, and he's going to get his first break of the day. His team, Champion Baptist, trailing by 10. The opponent, Arlington Baptist, in the white jerseys with the ball right now. They have a 10-point lead. Three-pointer on the way by number 3. That is Jamie Bricino. He gets it to go. And now the lead is 12. Connor drives, and charging foul call on him as he comes flying into the lane. Cody Connor picks up the foul, and you can kind of see that one coming. And I said earlier that's a very difficult call, the charging call. That one was a little easier. Three-pointer on the way and missing by Brown. Rebound, Connor. Almost throws it away. Capacey has it. Surrounded. And the ball's knocked out of bounds. Champion will keep it. Capacey was in trouble. The ball hit the ground or floor after being tipped by Arlington, one of their defenders. A long pass knocked out of bounds. Stepping up was Cannon to knock it out of bounds. That's all he could do. Couldn't steal it. Champion will keep it with 17 to shoot. 2:25 to go till halftime. 42-29 Arlington leading. Johnson for 3, no good. Long bounding rebound chased down by Gardner. He does that a lot. Johnson now drives, kicks to Connor. Another kick to Capacey for 3. It won't go. Rebound, high to get it was Nwakama. All the way to the hoop and laying it in is Caleb Brown. 44-29, a 15-point Patriot lead. The Patriots, that's the nickname of Arlington Baptist. The Tigers, that's Champion Baptist. And a Tiger lost that one. Back the other way, behind the back dribble, or excuse me, pass out of bounds. A little too fancy there for Josh Green. He probably could have laid the ball in himself. Instead, he was trying to get it to Nwakama. threw it out of bounds. 5 new guys coming in for Arlington. I won't try to tell you all their names. I'd miss 1 minute of action. Backcourt pressure by Arlington. Broken by Champion. Capacey called for traveling as he goes down the lane. Turnover gives the ball back to Arlington. Moore passes to Howard. Howard drives, stops, pops, misses, rebound, tipped out of bounds. It'll belong to Champion. Timeout called. Fear of a 5-second count caused Shabazz to call that one for Champion. We'll take a brief break. 1:13 to go. 44-29. Arlington leading Champion Baptist. Champion Baptist with the ball after the timeout. And
thank you.
As always, Arlington Baptist putting pressure on, and now going to the floor is Capacey is able to get the ball out of there, and a holding foul now called on Patrick Howard. It'll be free throws for Will Oliver. Will yet to break into the scoring column in this game. They'll have 2 shots here. And they were acting like it was a 1-and-1, but actually that's 10 team fouls on Arlington, so it should have been a 2-shot foul. Doesn't matter. Made it, and made the second. 44-31. We're under a minute to go. Just went under a minute. Moore with it. He kicks out to Howell. Howell into the lane, dumps it down, and it's knocked out of bounds by Capacey, and Arlington Baptist will keep it under their own basket with 49.6 to go till halftime, 27 on the shot clock. They have a 13-point lead. Wide open was Rodriguez. He didn't want to shoot the 3. Somebody else will, and that somebody else was Patrick Howard. Foul on the rebound. That was Gardner who got knocked to the floor. He'll walk to the other end to shoot 2. The foul on Brandon Bonner, his first. Gardner hits the first. Two for 2 goes David Gardner from the line, cutting the lead to 11. 5-second difference between game and shot clock. Arlington won't be able to run the clock clear down. They don't seem to be inclined to try that anyway. Miss a 3. Rebound fought for. A couple follow shots go up, and then finally Patrick Howard gets fouled underneath. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Johnny Schraken and Josh Green, just 2 guys in and out that time. We mentioned a lot of times 5 in, 5 out for Arlington Baptist in this half. One of two goes Patrick Howard from the line. He makes the lead 12, and long pass out of bounds. Linville, the intended receiver on that one, couldn't catch up with it. And timeout again. 21 seconds to go. This one called by Arlington. 45-33. We'll take another break. Well, we'll see if Arlington came up with a good plan for the final 20 seconds here during that timeout. 14 as Josh Green crosses the timeline. 9 seconds now. Green has it. Flashing out is Brycino. 2 to shoot. All the way down. Gives it to Green, who lays it in at the buzzer. I don't know if that was the plan, but it worked well as Arlington Baptist scores the final basket of the half, and they lead by 14 here at halftime. We'll take a break. We'll give you some stats and information from the first half when we come back. 6, Michael Howell with 6, Caleb Brown with 5, a couple guys with 4 and multiple guys with 2 points for the 47-point total for Arlington. We mentioned that Arlington wasn't shooting that great. They shot a lot of threes, 7 of 24 from behind the arc. So 24 three-point baskets got up in the air in the first half by Arlington Baptist. They hit 7, 29%, just 39% overall. And the problem is, if you're a Champion fan, your team shot even worse. They shot only 27% in the first half, 10 of 37. So that's a big reason they trail by 14 at halftime. Three-point basket on the way. That was number 3. Jamie Bricino missing that one. Bricino gets it back now. Shoots and misses again. Ball tipped around, and finally Johnson comes down with it for Champion. Now Gardner to Linville. He decides to shoot a 3. Good. Linville, we mentioned 18 in the first half, and they pretty much are letting him shoot from out there, and that's the first one he's hit. He's only shot a couple of times from outside. Most of his points have been follow shots and drives down the lane, but he hits a 3 there. Shot on the way and missing, but the rebound, Arlington in the person of Patrick Howard, and he puts it up and in. Howard, the first points for Arlington this half. The lead is 13. Capacey drives and cut off, gives to Gardner. And now Gardner has the ball slapped away, but gets it back. Connor with it, tries to bounce it inside, and it's kicked out of bounds with 14 to shoot. They'll raise that to 15 on the kicked ball with under 15 to go. They always put 15 back on the clock, and Linville will throw it in, gets it into Johnson. Tries to pass it down the lane, nobody home. Arlington comes out of there with it, and laying it up and in is Caleb Brown. Backcourt pressure still for Arlington. Broken with the pass to Gardner. He drives, steps around a defender, and shoots it in. Nice move by David Gardner. He has 6. The lead is 51-38. Driving shot missing. Foul called on Connor. And going to the line will be Patrick Howard for the Patriots of Arlington Baptist. Howard goes 2 for 2 from the line for Arlington. The lead now 15, 53-38, and the ball thrown away. Capacey trying to get it to Johnson. Goes over his head and out of bounds. Turnover. Gives it back to the Patriots. 16 turnovers in the first half on Champion. That a factor as well. Arlington turning it over 8, which is enough, but not nearly as bad as 16. Bricino lets go with a 3. Long bounding rebound. Johnson goes over to look at it and lets it go out of bounds. Champion will get it back. Flying up to knock it out of bounds is Hugo Rodriguez. And it comes to Capacey. Double team. It's at the Gardner. Now to Johnson, they get it across the timeline. Linville steps on the out-of-bounds line. Another turnover on Champion. Brown drives. Has the ball tapped away. Johnson tries to save it in bounds, unable to do so. Arlington will have it under their own basket. 25 to shoot, 17:33 remaining here in the second half of this semifinal action. Breaking free and shooting it in is Jamie Bricino. 17-point lead now. Capacey gets into the lane, shoots and misses. Here comes Brycino. Stop and go dribble. The kick out. The kick to the side and the shot up and in by Caleb Brown. Three-pointer for Brown. Timeout called by Coach Eric Capacey. He doesn't like what he sees so far in the second half. A 20-point Arlington lead, 17:04 to go. We'll take a break. You're listening to the ACCA tournament. Champion Baptist with the ball after the timeout. Still pressing in the backcourt is Arlington Baptist. Johnson ahead to Gardner. Cross court to Connor. His runner in the lane goes in. Cody Connor has 5. Now the ball stolen away by Capacey. He shoots the 3, misses everything. Gardner, though, saves it on the far side. Whenever a shot goes up, Gardner seems to be in the area. Foul called on the drive. We'll see if that goes on number 3, Brycino. Or, yes, it is on, no, it's on number 24, Patrick Howard, his 3rd foul. Linville will throw it in underneath for Champion. Gets it into Johnson. Linville gets it back on the baseline. Backs his way in, turns, pivots, shoots, misses, tips, and it won't go in. A foul called on the tip try. That foul on number 32, Zamoris Cannon. Linville, who had 6 free throws in the first half, is back at the line again. He has 21 points in this game already, 18 of those coming in half number 1. So a monster half for him. He hit a 3 in this half. Two for 2, now 8 for 8 on the day for Hayes Linville. 23 points for him, nobody else in double figures. Driving shot by Moore is good. Quinton Moore gets that one to go. The lead is back up to 18. Briefly down to 16 after that, the 2 free throws by Linville. Reverse layup by Connor missing. Linville fights for the rebound, can't get it. Bonner has it. Bonner on the stop and go dribble, kicks out for the 3. Missing was Michael Howell, and the rebound in the hands of Champion Baptist. Capacey steps through a double team and kicks it over to Johnson to Linville for 3 again. Good again. Hayes Linville, 2 threes in this half, and he's trying to keep Champion close. The 3 for an answer doesn't go, but Cannon gets the rebound, kicks out to Moore. Now Shrake with it. Number 12 on the far side is Howell. He drives and has his pass stolen away by Connor on the baseline. A long pass to Johnson, goes out of bounds. Johnson unable to handle that pass. Was a BB from David Gardner. And he was right on the sideline, was Johnson, and I think he was afraid the ball was going to go out of bounds, and so he fumbled it out of bounds. Now he tips the ball away and steals it. Nice play. As it tipped and gets it back. Capacey steps through, and the ball was tipped. Coming down with it is Arlington, and they slam it home. That's Brandon Bonner. 62-45. Johnson with the inbounds pass is surrounded and stumbles, and a foul called. And we'll see who that one is called on. 14:42 remaining here in the second half. I've been calling this a semifinal game. Actually, it's a quarterfinal game. Sorry about that error. Trying to get into the semifinals. The winner of this team, this game, Linville, drives all the way down and shoots it in. Hayes Linville playing guard there. Got the ball in the backcourt, or maybe just barely over the line, drove all the way down and laid it in. Fadeaway jumper missing by Shrake. Rebound. Number 2, Gardner. Shabazz then gets it to Capacey. Gardner has it back. Cut off as he tries to drive. Shabazz with it, looks inside, nothing available. Capacey down the lane. There's Linville for another 3. This one doesn't go, and Moore there for the rebound for Arlington Baptist. And he has the ball tipped away and stolen. Here comes Gardner. Drives all the way past the defender. That defender was big Zamoris Cannon. And Zamoris blocked the shot, but he was called for the foul. Zamoris is listed at 6'3", but don't have a weight on him, but he's well built. Looks like he could play tight end. Got down the floor well that time, blocked the shot of Gardner, but Gardner has a couple of free throws here. First one good by David Gardner. He was 2 for 2 in the first half. He has 7 points. Another free throw coming here as 5 new substitutes in for the Patriots of Arlington Baptist. Gardner rolls in the second of 2, making it a 13-point gain, 62-49. That pass down the floor over the head of Caleb Brown, and the turnover gives the ball back to Champion. And yesterday, pretty much counted Champion Baptist out of the game that they played against Crossroads. Or behind significantly. Ended up coming back and winning that game. Oliver gets the pass from Gardner. Now the kick out to Shabazz. Connor driving, shoots it up with the right hand on the right side. The reverse layup is good for Connor. Cody Connor has 7. And now the ball out of bounds, and the lead down to 11, and Champion has the ball. So I've learned in my short history of watching Champion Baptist that you should not ever count them out. They keep fighting. Probably would say, just my unbiased opinion, I have no horse in the race here on either team, would say that Arlington Baptist has more overall talent, but a lot of fight in these Champion Baptist players. They're trailing by just 11. We still have 13 minutes to play. Capacey, Gardner, kicks to Connor for 3, rimming off, and rebound pulled down by Brown. He still has it. Kicks in the corner, 3-pointer, no good, but getting his own rebound is Brycino, throws it inside, and a foul called as Josh Green had the ball. And that foul on Capacey, Joe Capacey, it's his third. No, excuse me, his second. No shooting, that's just the second team foul on Champion. Pass comes into Brycino. Brown with it. Brycino has it back. And now a driving shot goes in for Josh Green. Green had 11 in the first half. That's his first basket here in the second half. 13 overall, if you can do the math. Connor drives and goes to the floor hard. No foul called either way. A little bit of contact. He misses the shot. The tip missed as well. And quickly back the other way. Slamming it home is Patrick Howard. So the lead is back up to 15. Oliver drives. A man goes to the floor. Nothing called. Connor steals the pass. Here comes Connor. And he lays it in. And again, no foul call. That's probably a good no call there as the defender just kind of fell over. A little bit of contact. Not enough to call a charge or a block. And Connor lays it in. So the lead's back down to 13. Underneath it goes. Easy layup for Hugo Rodriguez as he got loose underneath behind the champion defense. Gardner drives and hits. David Gardner, another basket. Lead is 13. Ball tipped away, out of bounds. Connor goes sliding into the wall. He's okay. He gets up. The ball will belong to Arlington. Green to throw it in for Arlington. Brown cut off on his drive. Howard backs out on the dribble. Brown has it back. Underneath it goes, fake, and a shot missed. That was Howard under there. Back quickly the other way. Shabazz is going to be called for the charge. No. A blocking foul, I believe, called on Caleb Brown. And instead, it's called on Bricino. It was Brown who hit the floor. They said the foul from behind on Bricino. That's his first. Shabazz at the line misses the first. Darian Shabazz not into the scoring column yet in this game. Can do so here. Misses both free throws though. Green with the rebound. Stop and go dribble, then dribbles it off his foot out of bounds. So champion will have it back, trailing by 13, 10:43 to go. Still a lot of time, plenty of time to come back. The question is, do they have the horses to do it? Do they have the ability to overcome this big a deficit against a team that is pretty good? Capacey dribbles and kicks. Top of the key jumper goes in. That was a two-pointer for Shabazz, and we mentioned he didn't have any points. Had a couple of uncontested shots at the free throw line, couldn't get him to go. That one, a more difficult shot, goes through the rim. A 2-point basket makes it an 11-point game. Brown with it. Looking for Green, gets it to him. 12 to shoot. Green backs out and shoots the three, good. Josh Green hits the three and makes the lead 14 again, 71-57. Gardner with a spinning dribble loses the ball, and then it's thrown out of bounds by Hugo Rodriguez. Looked like Hugo tripped a little bit over one of the champion players. Could have been a foul called. Actually could have been a traveling called as he took a couple of hop steps, and then none of it mattered because he threw the ball out of bounds. The champion gets it back on their own end. Connor with the inbounds pass, turns and banks it in. Cody Connor 8 this half, 11 in the game. The lead, 71-59, is 12. Jumper from the free throw line, misses by Bonner. Rebound champion. Still have it in the backcourt. Shabazz to Capacey, who gets it across the line with about a second to spare. Connor drives, kicks. A three this time is good. That's Shabazz, who just hit a 2, about the same spot, only he was back a little further. Good enough to be a 3, and the lead is 9, 71-62. Still almost 9 minutes to play in this one. And again, Champion seems to get more inspired by being behind in the second half. Played a lot better this half, just like yesterday. That dims their hopes a little bit as Caleb Brown shoots in a 3 and answers the 3 by Shabazz on the other end. Now Connor pulls up for a 3. It won't go. High to get the rebound is Bonner. Bonner for 3. No good. Linville called for a pushing foul underneath. Nobakama went flying out of bounds, courtesy of the push in the back by Linville. Linville picks up his second foul. Arlington will get it under their own basket. And it comes to Bonner, who couldn't handle the pass, and then it went out of bounds. But it hit somebody from Champion on the way out, so we'll try it again. Three-pointer on the way and missing by Brycino. Gardner high to get the rebound. Shabazz with it. Capacey down the lane, kicks to Connor, turns down the 3, drives instead. Left-hander goes in. Nice driving shot by Connor. He has 10 in the half, 13 in the game. By my unofficial tally, the lead is 10. Bonner down the lane. Goes caroming off a couple of hands. Evidently, last touch by a blue-clad Champion Baptist player, and Arlington will get it right into their basket. And it comes to Brycino. He drives, shoots and hits. A little contact. Linville kind of backed away. No foul called, and Linville brings the ball across the timeline himself, gets it knocked out of bounds. Champion will keep it, 28 to shoot, 7:30 to play here in the second half. A 12-point lead for Arlington. Pass comes in to Linville eventually. He had to chase it down. Shabazz has it. Man-to-man defense by both teams all the way. Hustling, aggressive man-to-man. That ball bounces off Connor. He gets it. Capacey from the corner, no good. Linville tries to get it and can't. Gardner tries and can't. And this is Bonner, who passes for the shot. Green misses. Rebound, Connor. Capacey bumped as he heads toward the basket. And that's the 17th foul. It'll be a one-on-one opportunity here for Capacey. Foul on Bonner, his second. Capacey a one-on-one. Hits the first. Joe Capacey 6 in the first half. He had 2 3-point baskets. Hadn't scored this half until right now. He has another free throw here. That one rims off. Rebound, Josh Green. Bonner to Brown. Flashing out of the Rodriguez. Now it's Bonner. Down underneath to Rodriguez. It goes off his hands and out of bounds. Hugo Rodriguez fumbled that pass. Champion will get it back. Trailing by 11. Arlington has put backcourt pressure on the entire game with some effectiveness. They've stolen the ball a few times, but even though they've had quite a bit of trouble, often Champion has been able to break the pressure. They do there, and Connor shoots a 2 and misses. Rebound, Arlington. That's Green, bumped on his way to the basket. That shot will not count, even though it went in. Foul out on the floor. And no free throws here. That's team foul number 5 on Champion. Foul on Gardner, his second. Green drives, shoots and misses. Ball tapped around. Capacey comes down with it and then has it stolen. Green shoots underneath and misses. Linville called for the foul. Excuse me, that was Nowakama, not Green, number 22. Green is number 23. Nowakama. I keep mispronouncing that. Maybe I still am. Nowakama, according to me, hadn't scored until right there. He hits the free throw, makes it a 12-point lead, 77-65. We're under the 6-minute mark here in the second half. Second one rims out. Linville with the rebound, avoids being tied up, and finally gets rid of it to Gardner. Gardner all the way down, lays it in. Nice move by David Gardner. He has 8 this half, 12 for the game. The lead is 10. That's Green, driving, shooting, missing. Ball caroms out to Brown. His 3, good. Caleb Brown buries his third 3 of this half, third of the game. He makes the lead 13 with 5:27 to go. We'll see if Champion has another run in them. Stepping through a double team as Linville shoots and misses, but guess who? Gardner there to grab the loose ball. Connor drives and hits. Cody Connor, one of 6 baskets this half right there. Brown knocked off the center, falls to the floor as he tries to shoot. No foul called. Linville comes down with it. Gardner with a stop and go dribble. Shoots and misses. Grabs the rebound and a held ball called. Nowakama thought it was a foul. The referee says no. Possession arrow pointing towards Champion. They'll have it under their own basket with 4:48 to play. 26 on the shot clock. They trail by 11. They throw it in. It's intercepted by Bonner. Step through dribble. Shoots and hits. Nice move by Brandon Bonner. Connor tried to stop him, could not. The lead is 13. And that was a situation there where Champion was about to get a 5 count, so they just throw the ball in. Ended up with a layup on the other end. Long 3 on the way. No good. Follow shot good by Gardner. Timeout called by Coach Eric Capacey. 4:21 to go. An 11-point lead for Arlington. We'll take a break. You're listening to the ACCA Tournament 2015 Men's Division. I just heard the Arlington coach say, let's put this thing away. He'd like to see a little run here and put this out of reach. It still isn't. That basket will count on the driving shot by Caleb Brown. And you get a 7-8-0 run right here and get up by 20 to 25. This would be over, but still, it's just a 13-point game, 4:09 to go, and now 14 as Caleb Brown hits the free throw after the made basket. 14-point lead. Does Champion Baptist have one more run in them, one more spurt of energy, one more scoring run? Capacey drives, shoots and misses. He is fouled. We'll see who that goes on. Moore standing there saying, surely it wasn't me. And it was, according to the ref. Quentin Moore picks up his second foul, and Capacey will have two here. First one missing. Will Oliver back into the lineup for Champion. Green in the lineup for the Patriots of Arlington Baptist. Capacey goes 1 for 2 from the line. Hits the free throw, makes it a 13-point game, 85-72. High pick for Green by Nwakama. Bonner has it. Nice pass to Brown down the lane, lays it in. Caleb Brown with a twisting shot. He has had a really nice second half. I haven't said a whole lot about it. 3 threes, 3 two-point baskets, and a free throw. 16 in this half, 21 for the game. And it goes to Linville, pivots his way in, scoops and misses, rebound tipped out, Brown has it. Looks ahead, Nwakama drives and hits. Philip Nwakama, his first basket, he has a free throw, he has 3, and now the lead is 17 with 3:04 to go. Connor's driving shot misses, but there's my man. I love the hustle of David Gardner. Got the rebound, follow shot misses, but Gardner is a loose ball freak. Shrake down the lane, plays it in. Johnny Shrake has 4, and now you almost think this one's over. 91-72, a 19-point lead with 2:35, and maybe that's what their coach was talking about when he said, let's put this one away, and it just might be beyond the reach of Champion Baptist now. Driving shot by Brown, misses. Linville with the rebound, cross court to Connor, drives in, his little left-handed scoop shot won't go. He loves that left-handed scoop. Gardner dives for that pass and misses, and the pass into Bonner, who missed the shot. Looked like Bonner was undercut, nothing called. Gardner shoots it in on the other end. Really could have been a foul, probably should have been a foul, as going up for the shot there was Brandon Bonner, and the referee kind of scooted under him. Nothing got called. Timeout called. 2:01 to go, 91-74. 17-point lead for Arlington. They are trying to move into the semifinals in this quarterfinal game of the men's bracket of the 2015 ACCA tournament. This game, any game, you can get a digital copy for $5. Digital download for $5 by talking to Chris Sheeman, either in person, he's at the scores table, broadcasting the games in the Ozark Gym, or email him. That email pops up from time to time on your screen, and you can email him and say, I would like a digital copy. If you're going to pay with a credit card, it costs you an extra $1. It'd be $6, but $5, cash or check, in person or in the mail. Driving shot is up and in by Michael Howell. 19 the lead is. We're under 2 minutes to play. In fact, 1:42 right now. Connor with it, flashing out high, drives, can't make a reverse layup, kicks to Oliver. Connor drives baseline, was bumped, nothing called, the ball goes out of bounds. Bumped pretty good, then lost the ball. Goes out of bounds. Arlington gets it. Schrake drives in the lane, and foul is called as he was surrounded and slapped. And Johnny Schrake will go to the line for a couple of free throws here. 1:19 to go. Only thing we don't know for sure right now is the final score. Looks like Arlington Baptist will be moving into the semifinals, and they will face the winner of the game that follows here. That will be Hillsdale and Emmaus. Emmaus knocking off Welch over at Ozark yesterday, 86-75, earned their way into this quarterfinal game, which will follow this one. Free throw missing, but rebound taken down by Christian Bear, who I don't believe had been in the game prior to this. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will belong to Arlington after they wipe a little perspiration up off the floor. Down in the corner, the referee overseeing the job there being done by one of the Arlington players. Everybody's happy, I believe. And nope, still not happy. Still rubbing on a spot. There we go. Johnny Schrake is finished with the towel. Referee hands him the ball. Turnaround shot up and in by Bear, and you can always tell when somebody doesn't get to play a lot. When they come in and score, the whole bench cheers, and they did there, and now Bear gets called for a foul on the other end as he's reaching in. 96-74, a 22-point comfortable lead for Arlington Baptist. Arlington Baptist, founded back in 1939 by J. Frank Norris. If you know anything about more modern church history, you probably heard of J. Frank. Very colorful character back in the day. Kind of funny, I looked on the website, actually the Wikipedia site, and it says that the current president is D.L. Moody. I think somebody must have went in and edited their page and put that in there. D.L. Moody died quite a while ago, I think, although I guess it could be another one. But if you know the answer to the current president of Arlington Baptist, you can tweet to us. Hashtag ACCA Hoops. Tell me who your president is if you're from Arlington Baptist and you're listening. Maybe it is D.L. Moody. Regardless, Arlington's going to win this game. 3-point attempt made there by Christian Bear. A rebound, Champion Baptist after the miss. 21-point lead. Champion has it. Linville starts to move down the lane, backs out, shoots a three and misses. Gardner fought for it, couldn't get it. And now the Patriots of Arlington Baptist will dribble out this last final 20 seconds, or maybe they'll just pass it around, stand around. And this one is over. It's going to be a 96-75 final score here, a 21-point victory for Arlington Baptist. They move into the semifinals, and they will play the winner of the game that is scheduled for a 4:45 tip here. Probably won't get underway quite that quickly. But we'll see how much time they put on the clock. I'm going to say they'll give 10 to 15 minutes for a warm-up, and then Hillsdale and Emmaus will tip off. Let me try to give you quickly the final scoring stats before we take a break, before the next game. Here's the way I have it, at least. Not official, but my score sheet says this: 7 for Jamie Bricino. I'm in the Arlington Baptist section right now. 21 points for Caleb Brown. Nice game for him. 5 for Johnny Schrake. 6 for Brandon Bonner. 8 for Michael Howell. 4 for Quentin Moore. 3 for Philip Nwakama. Josh Green, 11 at halftime, had 16 in the game. 10 for Patrick Howard. 2 for Christian Bear. 2 for Zamoris Cannon. 6 for Rafael Garcia, all those in the first half, and 6 for Hugo Rodriguez. So a lot of different guys scoring. It looked like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different players scoring for Arlington Baptist to give them their total of 96. On the other side for Champion Baptist, it was a good game for Hayes Linville. We mentioned in the first half he had 18, 10 in the second half, and so he ended up with 28 points. David Gardner with 14, 10 of those in the second half, 5 for Darian Shabazz, 15 for Cody Connor, 8 for Joe Capacey, and 2 for Will Oliver, rounding out the scoring for Champion Baptist. Champion drops down into the losers bracket. They'll play at 4 o'clock Friday, and they'll play against over in the Ozark gym, so we won't have that game, but Arlington Baptist moves on. And our president is D.L. Moody, says Joshua Moody from Arlington. Appreciate that. And this is true, said Joshua. I am his son, the dean of students. So D.L. Moody indeed is the coach, or excuse me, is the president. He is no relation to the D.L. Moody you've heard of, who was the famous evangelist. I appreciate that input, and anytime you have a comment, something you think might be helpful, or a question for us, tweet us at #ACCA Hoops, and we might mention what you say on the air. We're going to take a break, about 8.5 minutes till our next game gets underway. We'll be back for that one.